My name is Jerry, and I'm here to tell you why I love Berserk. I think the better question is, why don't you love Berserk?
And let's be honest, he really does have a point. So you might be wondering, who the hell is this guy? I kind of wanted to do things a little differently this week. So I figured, you know what, we all love Berserk. You guys love Berserk, and so do I. So I figured, why don't I talk to some YouTubers, some collabs, some great Instagrammers, some personal friends of mine. Why do they love Berserk? And a couple little things about it, because honestly, I know why I love it, and I'm sure if you guys have seen my other videos, you know why. But why do other people like it? That's the question I want to figure out. What makes them drive Berserk? I don't know. So let's get into it.
I guess I should start from the beginning.
I'm a newer fan, but thanks to Kelphelp to get me into it, because it seemed kind of daunting to get into considering how long running the series was and how deep the fan base went and their love for it.
When I was little, my uncle used to take me to Fry's Electronics and he would let me pick out an anime to watch and buy. I remember glancing over the box cover of Berserk and I just remember being absolutely terrified because you see Guts' face is just being torn apart, he's missing an eye and he's just screaming for bloody mercy. Sure enough, I was proven right because I turned over the box cover and it said 17 and up or M for mature or whatever, and I knew then that I was probably not going to see this for a while, and that's exactly what happened.
It has literally everything in an epic story. It's an anime. Like, I don't know what more you want. But say you don't like anime. Say you like Game of Thrones. This has got Game of Thrones. This is Game of Thrones before Game of Thrones. Berserk is fantastic because the story of Guts is a story there is no rival to. I'm even having a hard time describing Berserk to you. It is a medieval fantasy horror story. It is like, it has drama, it has romance, it has intrigue, it has suspense, it has thrills, it has horror, it's got plot twists, it's got everything.
The characters themselves are also really interesting. Like I said, with Guts' kind of inner heartache with just his whole unfortunate life, really. And while it started off with such a bright future for him as a mercenary with the Band of the Hawk, all to just kind of come crumbling down. I'll try not to give anything else away. It's really on another level as far as... And growing up in the 90s, I didn't see it. I'm pretty sure that's when the anime came out, and growing up with watching Dragon Ball Z and all this other stuff that was pretty fluff in comparison, and I mean, I don't even think as a kid, if I did watch Berserk, that my head could have wrapped around exactly what it was I was watching. And I remember that's what it was like when I watched Neon Genesis Evangelion as well. I didn't understand what was going on. While Berserk is not as convoluted, I think, story-wise as like Evangelion, but I still found myself looking up wikis, messaging Kelphelp to really kind of solidify the deeper stuff, like, you know, what is femtogriffith really, and it, you know, that kind of stuff that was a little bit confusing or ambiguous when trying to figure it all out.
Things I really love about Berserk are the quiet moments, whether it's like just Guts like looking off into the distance or like the night sky and they're just frolicking about. It's those quiet moments that make you think. It's like, okay, so I mean, this guy's life isn't a total shithole. He has these moments. He's a human character. He just feels and he reflects on his past events, and what drives him forward to constantly pursue whatever it is he's pursuing. And it's just absolutely fantastic.
There is constant plot twists, there is constant changing going on, there is great, deep, unique characters, there is a great mythology, there's so much here for you to look into.
But for me, the story, this constant heartache for Guts, this never-ending quarrel he has with himself, with the suit, with trying to find Casca's, restore her back to normal, not trying to find her. But it's just, it's really compelling for me.
And that's why I find the genre of Berserk so fitting, because it's the absolute definition of what a tragedy is. You see Guts as a character. He's just born from the hanging corpse of his mother, found by a bunch of mercenaries, And the first time he finds somebody to confide in, it's his foster father, and he sells him off to some guy, and he gets raped. He kills his foster father, and then he finally finds camaraderie with with the band of Hawk, and it's the first time you see him be loved and cared about, and it just makes you happy inside. Lo and behold, the eclipse happens, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna go down in anime history as one of the most fucked up things to happen to anyone at all.
This year we also had a PS4 game come out, which is great because before that all we had was the Dreamcast game and PlayStation 2 game, and in America you only had the Dreamcast game. I'm glad to have what I can have.
I have both the PS4 game and the Dreamcast games. The Dreamcast game I have for my collection, but the Berserk game, while it didn't get great reviews, I feel like showing that we have so much faith in the franchise, or that we want to support it so bad, that buying that kind of stuff is just only going to help us get more things in the future. I'd love some of the figures, but they're just so expensive. Even the more basic ones like the Figma, it's just kind of an absurd price, unfortunately. No matter how much you love the franchise.
I have this sort of affinity towards like heroic figures with giant swords, like Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy, and probably that's why Cloud has a big ass sword, because Guts has a big ass sword, and that's the influence of Berserk, because you see it in so many mediums. You see like Berserk influence in like the Dark Souls series, or Bloodborne, or like all that kind of stuff.
The anime was great. I'm on my third watch through of it.
Longest time, the fans of the anime were screwed even more because all we had was the original series. That's it. One season, 25 episodes. That's all you got. We started getting lucky. We heard there was movies coming out, and we were stoked. Well, we got movies. We got 3 movies, which is great. They're fantastic movies. I love them so much.
Fast forward maybe 2 years ago, and I saw Netflix had the Golden Age Arc Part 1. I figured, why not? Give it a shot.
I haven't seen the movies, but sounds like they're a nice culmination of everything that's happened up until the end of the Band of the Hawk.
So yeah, I was so happy that I got into Berserk after watching Golden Age Arc. There was just this void in me that I needed to consume more media about Berserk. So I looked up Part 2 and Part 3, and oh my god, the eclipse. It was just so tragic. Watching that third part, I was like, is there a Part 4? And I did some research. It took me like 2 minutes to find the manga, and I'm so glad that I did, because it was fantastic. Just the artwork. Miura, I hope I said that right, but his evolution, his artwork was just fascinating. Reading the first chapters of Berserk all the way to the end,
and I find myself constantly going back to the mangas to like read something, or see if it's kind of neat to see if there's stuff I missed now knowing how it currently stands in the manga.
The manga is fantastic, but you have to be in for the long haul, because while they are getting close to hitting 40 volumes, we sometimes have to wait a year for a chapter to come out because our lovely creator just gets addicted to video games and sometimes just forgets to do anything.
I get it, Miura is pretty old, and he pushed out maybe like 300 or so chapters, but I'm hoping for more stories, to be honest with you.
What I want is for the manga to continuously keep going instead of taking hiatuses, and for the 2017 Season 2 anime to be drawn better. Less CGI, more hand-drawn. Make it happen. Or get better with your CGI. Call Ghost in the Shell. Ask them what they do.
I hope that the anime would actually start from the very beginning rather than starting like towards the end of the Golden Age arc, because I don't know, I mean, more Berserk, I mean, they have so much material to work off of, so it would be fantastic if they could just start from the beginning. No CG, but yeah, just start from the absolute beginning and then just work your way up.
I'm afraid it's gonna look like Season 1. I need Season 2 to look better. I need it to honor Berserk. It doesn't look as good as it should, is what I'm saying.
I have high hopes for the newer anime to be a bit better. I've seen a few episodes of it. I haven't finished it myself.
I'm just happy that there's this Berserk anime. Mind you, if there's one thing I can change, it's the CG, and I'm pretty sure that's a very popular answer because CG's not doing it.
I would say call Ghost in the Shell people and be like, how did you make this look so good? Call the people who did the anime movie. Call them. They did a great job. Don't call somebody. That's what I want. That's what I want to say. As I want to say for you to call someone.
But Berserk's Berserk, and I'm gonna watch Berserk because it's Berserk, regardless of like. Make it stick figures and like make it compelling. It's Berserk because Berserk is just compelling.
I don't think it's too late at all. I mean, you don't even have to admit the mistake. Just do better, and I'll forgive it. That's all I'm asking. It's never too late. Let's make Berserk great again. That's all I'm saying.
I always find myself recommending the series because it's so great and it's dark and it has its lighter moments to not make it seem so bleak.
I will disown you if you do not watch Berserk. Start with the original anime, watch the 3 movies, do the 2016 new anime series, and read the manga because the artwork that is in the manga is breathtaking.
It's just, it's really compelling for me, and as far as animes and mangas go, it's just on this whole other level for me, and the deception and just all of Griffith's bullshit, it's just it's really interesting, and I think that's what always makes me come back and what always makes me suggest it to friends who are looking for an anime or a manga to read, and it's so easy to get a hold of it that it's silly to not just try it.
Can't describe how good it is. So I don't know, I had a hard time thinking about what I was going to tell you to watch Berserk, but I can't describe to you how to watch Berserk. You just have to watch it. You have to put it on and just watch it. One of the greatest stories ever told, and you will regret it if you never check it out.
Honestly, those are some really passionate responses, and the dichotomy of just the different people that I got, because some of them were more solemn, some of them were more evoking of their emotions. It was just beautiful just to have both of them mashed in together. It was great. Also, this will be my last video for Berserk for a little bit, because I wanted to get into some other content, some video game content, so keep that just for a bit. So I wanted to thank all 3 of them. I wanted to thank Jerry from Kill the Cast. I also wanted to thank Corbin as well. He's also a great Instagrammer and a great retro collector, so you can check him out on Instagram. I'll put the links down below. And lastly, I wanted to thank Ronald as well. He's a great homie. We were in the Final Fantasy video not too long ago, so definitely give him a shout. He's on Instagram as well. He does a great Noctis cosplay, so definitely check him out.
Griffith did nothing wrong, Rico.
What was that?
Griffith did nothing wrong, Rico.
What was that? No. No. No, no, no. This isn't gonna haunt me today. I'm not gonna hear this today.
Griffith did nothing wrong, Rico.
No. No, he totally did something wrong. What the hell are you saying? No. It's Griffith's fault.
Griffith did nothing wrong,
Griffith's
Rico.
fault. You know it's Griffith's fault. Where's that voice coming? No. No.
That's Griffith did nothing wrong, Rico. Not a single thing did Griffith do wrong. You think Griffith did something wrong, but no. Every single person in Band of the Hawk said they would die for Griffith, and that's what they did. Griffith just took them at their word. They said they would die for him. Griffith said, okay, and that's what happened. Griffith is the White Hawk that we all need, that we all love. He is the ultimate, the best, the greatest. Just because Guts backed out of his word doesn't mean everyone else in the Band of the Hawk didn't back out. They said they would die for him, and they did. So Griffith did nothing wrong. Don't say shit if you don't mean it. That's all I'm saying, Rico. All I'm saying.